白くなりそう。
NetEase just revealed a new open-world action RPG going by the name Project Mugen. Supposedly a PC to PlayStation 5 exclusive with crossplay with Android and iOS. Mugen over here is, as looks could be deceiving, quite a bit like the Justice League open-world game, but set in a world where humans coexist with supernatural entities. The combat in this game can be team-based, or you could say a tactical hack and slasher. Check it out, the game will be fully free to play when it releases next year.
You and I will be stuck all the way to the future. We can decide who we want to be. Go into this where I control the fate. I find out it's not to feel the rush in my veins. This Brawler is calling, call for me. Feeling that it's mine. I said I'm so free. For now in deadly light is the way. I find out it's not to feel the rush in my veins. No, we have never before. We have never felt so very high. And we have never before. We have never touched the skies. Many associate snow with coldness and demise. But to me, it's the only untainted white.
Coming up behind that, we've got over here the long-awaited Kuro Games open-world RPG, Wuthering Waves. A game we've been waiting on its testing phase for months. The good news is it is now coming to PCs alongside mobiles. Previously it was just Android and iOS, but it's now coming to PCs and probably next generation of consoles too later on. It's a free-to-play open-world action RPG and one of the biggest projects out of Korea from the same developers of Punishing Raven Grey. Anyway, to accompany the good news, we got a new trailer too.
Blizzard breaks out in an instant. It all ends here. My shackles are no more. May our world be clean as snow, ever so pure.
Number 3, we have Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 4, as we hear, shaping up to be the biggest entry in the series yet. Interestingly, that last time we actually had a Budokai, it was all the way back 15 years ago and on the PlayStation 2. It's a series of fighting games, and this time with the promise to bring literally every single characters in the Dragon Ball universe into a package. Check it out, games coming to PCs in the next generation of consoles only sometime next year. Zainless Zone Zero, which happens to be the longest awaited mobile game too, is now coming to PCs, possibly consoles as well, early to mid next year. The Gamescom we were witnessing these past few days brought with it some new gameplay, and the word that the game is indeed in good shape. If you miss out on it, this game is an open world action RPG from the same developers of Honkai, Star Rail, and the famous Genshin Impact. Check it out.
astral realm is Lilith's home. One way back is to restore the forbidden primal. She will utilize the power of the four primals and attempt to cast open the gates once more.
Now, at the same Gamescom's opening night live, Cygames, I honestly forgot how long it's been since this game was announced, but we got a release date of February 1st, 2024 for Granblue Fantasy Relink, an action RPG Granblue game that these developers been cooking for years, what felt like an eternity. This game is quite a bit in the same style of the Final Fantasy XVI. It's an open-world Japanese RPG, PlayStation 5 exclusive, which happens to be coming to PCs just like most PlayStation exclusive nowadays. Check it out.
But fate set in motion can't be stopped. Deliver us from grief and sacrifice. Fulfill my salvation.
The Hobbit! We've been through a lot together. Visited new islands, met new people. But you've always been there to protect me. I just wanted to say thank you.
"国民の信託を最も集めし者が次なる王となる資格を得るものとする。陛下のお命が奪われるなど。"
Metaphor ReFantazio is officially coming to PCs now in addition to the next generation of consoles and the PlayStation 4. This announcement was made recently through a new trailer and a release window of 2024. If you are new to the Metaphor games over here, it's a series of fantasy RPG that's been directed from the same team who did most Persona games, 3, 4, and even 5. And this is a sequel to a very well-received game from almost a decade ago.
僕のいる世界の出来事は君にとっては絵空の子。
まさか、人間？
この国は今有史以来の危機にさらされている。どうやら面白い力を手にしたようだ。
主君に捧げると決めた覚悟そのものだ。
これこそ人間の真実だ。
道は二つに一つ。
またあったね。やはり君は興味深い。
今こそあんた自身がそうなる番よ。
正義かどうかじゃない。
誰もが恐れと不安に負けそうで
理想を貫け。
何が正しいのかわからない。
すべての始まりはあなたの持つ小説。
幻想はただの絵空事なんかじゃない。
That those chased by a puppet are also chased by misfortune.
Now look guys, announced around the same time last year. Number 7 we have A-Code, a Seoul developer's first project, which we thought to be funny, but not really. I mean, A-Code's been in the making for like 2 years apparently, and what we do know is it's an active development and will be coming to PCs exclusively upon release. This is the first time we're mentioning this game because we got an update, a new trailer, which you will see in a second is just amazing. If you're a fan of Attack on Titans, you probably had a clue already. The same team is making a VR game called Unbreakable, which is basically letting you get even deeper into the series from a first-person perspective in VR. We know this game is coming to Oculus Quest headsets and apparently releasing in the final quarter of 2023.
I don't know how I'll feel when I'm dying. But I won't regret the way I lived. Sorry, but I'm not losing to anyone.
I would, since it means being true to myself.
If you're familiar with the shonen animes, then you probably have also heard about Jujutsu Kaisen. If not, nothing wrong. It's just all you need to know is that there is an action brawler in the making by Bandai Namco, and it's the best thing the company's been making so far in this particular genre. So if you're in for some 1 versus 1 versus 2 or even up to 4 multiplayer fighting game, the game's base or story is remaining pretty faithful to the manga series if you are familiar with them. You get about 15 characters to choose from, and the game's gonna be coming to PCs and all consoles as well.
How many before you crumble?
Bandai Namco went the extra miles and released 2 more trailers, finally, on Sword Art Online Last Recollection, which is just another JRPG the folks are making for years. I mentioned Last Recollection before with just a cinematic last year. The game is now coming to basically all consoles October 6th this year, delivering a much refined gameplay as opposed to previous iterations, a new story arc, and a lot more. Avatar: The Last Airbender Quest for Balance will launch for Switch, PCs, and all other consoles on September 22nd this year for the price of $50. The word just came through from Game Mail in addition to a new gameplay trailer. Just take a look. The new Avatar game is a solo and 2-player local and online co-op multiplayer with more than 15 stages to play through and a nice little cast of characters to choose from.
In Persona 5 Tactica, mastering the techniques at your disposal might just be the key to assuring your victory as you fight back against the oppressive forces of Legionnaires.
Moving on, we have Persona 5 Tactica. This is a tactical role-playing entry in the long-running franchise, which happens to be coming to every single gaming console November 17 this year. The difference, though, as opposed to previous iterations, is that instead of allowing a character to take a turn in another one's place, you can now basically swap with a party member which wasn't in the fight before, when someone's dead. Not just that, you can even now do chain combos and a lot more. Check it out. This spin-off is also rumored to be coming to mobile devices as well.
Fight through the ranks of Legionnaires. The Phantom Thieves' battle against Legionnaires has only just begun, so be sure to use every character's unique abilities, along with each advantage you can on the battlefield. Until next time, keep fighting.
Perhaps you'd prefer I hadn't cut in?
Senpai, you're not hurt, are you? Yeah.
Complete with new graphics that fuse 2D and 3D is on the way. After a mission goes wrong, Federation Officer Claude is stranded on an undeveloped planet.
Star Ocean, the second story arc, is also releasing on November 2nd this year, and it's coming to PCs, PlayStation consoles, and even the Nintendo Switch. This new Star Ocean, if you just missed out on his gameplay, is a 2D, 3D, or rather HD 2D like triangle strategy or of Square Enix games, meaning the game's background is in full 3D, whilst the characters are in 2-dimensional. Anyway, to accompany this good news, we got a new trailer too.
Your adventure, the hero you chose, and the decisions you make will have an impact on who can be recruited to your cause.
The enemy, is it?
Battles take place in real time, and skills can be performed with a single button. New combat features in this remake include stunning enemies with chain attacks, and having allies not in your current party unleash follow-up attacks, letting you map out strategic battles in your favor. As you search for a way home, An ancient prophecy will unfold, and your destiny will be awakened. Save the planet in Star Ocean.
おやおや、息子たちが随分と世話になっているじゃないか。
Crunchyroll came up with an update on One Punch Man World, which is their biggest hack and slasher, one of the biggest multiplayer action games of 2023 that they've been cooking since for like 3 years already. The game is, in addition to mobiles, now coming to PCs this year with crossplay support as well. Anyway, I've actually mentioned One Punch Man. The game is an absolute gem amongst the upcoming anime games based on their anime series. You can pre-register the game now on its official website and stay tuned for a final release date by the end of the year.
Mugen, 何してんだ。ムゲン。ここで俺はお前に立ち向かわなきゃいけないんだ。 ヒーローではないがお前を崩してガンプロ。 戦いの高揚感は
7人のマスターが最後の1人まで殺し合う生存競争。己が願いが叶うのだ。君は英月の義を何とする？
Type Moon Studios, which happens to be the same team behind all Fate games, if you haven't heard yet, is developing an action RPG in partnership with Omega Force and Koei Tecmo, going by the name Fate Samurai Remnant. I've mentioned Samurai Remnant before a few times in the channel, but the reason it's here in the list is we got an update, trailer, gameplay, and a release date of September 29 this year for PCs, Switch, and the PlayStation consoles as well.
貸してあげましょう。
死をもって命じる。本物の地獄を見せてやれ。
フラム、ヘイ、エトランチェ。
宮本伊織、マスターの一人として今は不足と見た。お命をいただく。君は弱き者なのだ。英霊に比べれば
俺の本分は剣士だよ。どれほど弱かろうともな。
あんたはマスターになった。故に自らこの義を抜けることはできぬ。
Gets people through their struggles. But it's also the mistakes you made that haunt you forever. I'm the one who chose to join you back then.
Atlus even came up with another trailer on Persona 3 Reload, their highly anticipated turn-based JRPG, and said the game is now releasing on February 2nd next year for PCs, both generation of consoles, possibly Switch as well. Now, we know that the new game will feature the same characters as Persona 3, includes a director's cut version of the game, a new playable epilogue, better visuals, and new voiceovers. This is basically Persona 3 remastered.
Oh, Junpei's got your back.
We expected as much. Don't be careless.
Persona abilities can be dangerous, depending on how they're used.
I want to use this power to help me live my own life. Take this seriously. I never noticed you could see the stars so clearly up here.
Knowing the truth isn't everything, right?
When that happens, I just go do something fun and forget about it.
It sounds interesting. Don't tell me you've forgotten the promise.
Now, on the other hand, we got another trailer on Second Wave, showcasing more of the story of the game and, of course, gameplay. If you're new to this one, Second Wave is a free-to-play online multiplayer hero-based shooter and a MOBA with just basically no pay-to-win like League of Legends or Dota. Check it out. Game is releasing for PCs through Steam and the Xbox consoles with Game Pass early to mid next year.
No, no, get out! They haven't finished it!
Oh, Sleeper's finished, aren't you? We had a deal, Sleeper. And yet, here you are, risking it all to try and break our contract to end your...
And last but not least, we have Citizen Sleeper 2, Stalwart Victor. The new game will be coming as a Microsoft exclusive and into PCs and Xbox Series X only around holidays this year. This is a tabletop RPG if you're just new here, whereas you can expect the same dice-based gameplay, except this time you'll own a ship, you get to build a crew and take on contracts. Check it out. Accompanied with great news, we got a new trailer too.
Your needs. I gave you a crew, lent you a ship, even hooked you up with a contract or two. And yes, I took my share. But that only seems fair. I invested in you. But then, you went and did this. And now, you don't need this. And I don't need you anymore either.
Sleeper, go! Now! To the ship!